with mayonnaise. Not a vision anyone wants in their head. With me now is Lois Perry, director of Car26. You can find out all about that at car26.org. Lois, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, Mark. Thank you for having me.
No, my pleasure. You're in a difficult position because it's actually hard to find a candidate to get behind who isn't insanely wedded to this net zero.
You're absolutely right. But I think with Liz Truss, you know, she is giving signals that on the surface, she has to pay lip service to certain things to do with the climate agenda. But the thing is, she is talking about taking off the green levy, off the energy bills and other things. She wants to frack, which is fantastic. Yep. I also know for a fact that she, in Cabinet, opposed us hosting COP26. She thought it was a complete waste of money. So even though she obviously has to say what she needs to say, compared to Rishi, I mean, Rishi loves it. He's totally enthralled to the whole thing, the whole green agenda. His 9-year-old is directing policy. So, in Liz we trust maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Rishi can afford to be net zero, to be green.
Well, he can.
Yeah. And I don't think. I'm surprised after 2.5 years of we're now being told the UK is going to have the lowest rate of economic growth in the developed world, basically. And yet people are still fixated on somehow the most pressing problem is sea levels in the Maldives in the 22nd century.
Yeah, but when you look at the actual polling, it comes right down on the list of priorities for ordinary people. It's only high on the list of priorities for the woke mainstream media. It's not for normal people. Normal people worry about, you know, paying the bills, heat or eat, all of that kind of stuff. So
that's true. But at the same time, everyone who matters seems to think this net zero is.
I wonder why. I wonder what's going on. Why is it this extraordinary priority? What is the impetus behind it being such an extraordinary important thing for everybody? You know, why is the civil service so behind it? Why are they so behind wind farms and all of this? You know, is it because they might have directorships when they leave offices? Who knows? It's there's something going on that has nothing to do with looking after ordinary people and has nothing to do with democracy. I'm absolutely certain of that.
Well, it would be great if Liz Truss actually did do the fracking thing.
Well, both of them have come out in favour of it, funnily enough, Rishi and her. And I'd like to think, but that's probably because I'm an egomaniac, that it has something to do with Car26. We've campaigned very, very hard for fracking.
No, I know. That's like a core plank of Car26. But I would have thought it would have gotten a boost from the situation that Germany has found itself in, you know, where the Ukraine war starts and they say, OK, to hell with Russian gas, we don't need it, we're not going to. And then the Russians tighten the screws and Germans realise that somehow one of the wealthiest nations in the world, because it's not energy independent, is basically now the creature of a hostile state.
They are a creature of a hostile state, but they must have known that this was on the cards. I mean, they must have predicted that this could, you know, that this could happen. It's beyond belief that they didn't think that, you know, that this was something that could actually turn out if they weren't energy independent. It makes me wonder, why would any sovereign state want to not be energy independent? Why are we not energy independent? It's completely insane.
No, it's absolutely insane. I mean, the Kremlin are basically tightening the screws on the Germans. It's kind of pitiful. And I mean, the one thing you can say about the UK, it's kind of embarrassing for a G7 nation, one of the permanent 5 members of the Security Council. The temperature goes up a bit and suddenly you're dependent on the Belgians. I don't know the last... When was the last time anyone was...
from Belgium.
What?
It's Tintin from Belgium.
Yeah, Tintin's Belgian.
Yeah, that's the only thing I associate with them. And as you say, chips and beer and mayonnaise. But not being able to switch on my electricity at night. No, it's humiliating, isn't it, Mark? Yeah.
No, I know. I don't understand how people don't see where this is going to go. Because
we need to frack. We need to frack now. We've got enough energy to supply us for at least 100 years. We need to go for gold. We need to stop denying licences for extracting energy from our own soil. It's absolutely ludicrous. We are completely and utterly capable of not doing what anybody else wants to do and being a completely sovereign, independent energy state. Let's do it.
Well, why doesn't you say that Liz Truss, you know, that they're obligated to pay lip service to? And you're quite right when then you say you go almost anywhere. You go to Northern England, you go to Scotland, you go to Wales, you go to Northern Ireland. Nobody there, oh yeah, my big priority is net zero. I'm really looking for a candidate who's strong on net zero. Why don't they just say net zero is look, we've had COVID, we've got a war, we've got a collapsed economy, we can't afford the indulgences of 2019.
The problem is you've got an international agenda which is pushing for CO2 reduction. And as much as we try to be immune from it, we can't be completely immune, you know. But the fact that we're not in Europe is a good thing, is a very good thing. And if Labour got back in, we are absolutely stuckered. We really are, because we have to do exactly what Europe says. But at the moment, we're in a lovely position where we can put our middle fingers up to the whole net zero thing. And our government needs to take advantage of that. They really do. But the only candidate that I personally believe will do that is Liz Truss. Rishi Sunak is totally in bed with all of that international net zero agenda, and he is a very dangerous person. I'm firmly of that belief. I really am.
And you're convinced that Liz Truss, despite the fact when she's rhapsodising about the ozone layer. I know. I don't know that I'd heard the phrase ozone layer in...
No, I haven't since Blue Peter in the 90s. When I thought I couldn't use deodorant, mind you, I didn't need to use deodorant yet at that point, because I was only 8 years old. But
no, that's the other thing. We're going to be eating cockroaches and we're all going to stink. This is the globalist plan for us. And we won't need to social distance because nobody will want to go within 6 foot of anyone.
Nobody will want to come anywhere near us. Look, do you know what? There's two candidates. If I have to choose, and I do have to choose, it would be Liz Truss. I mean, the thing is, with Boris Johnson, he didn't believe any of this net zero stuff. I'm absolutely convinced of it, but unfortunately, he was married to somebody that did.
I had lunch with Boris years ago.
I had a lunch with Boris. You don't want to know about my lunch with Boris. I bet it was very different to yours.
I went to bed because he was, at that point, the one thing we didn't agree on a lot, but this is a long time ago, but he said, oh, this climate change is complete blank, and I can't use the word.
No, absolutely. He said the same thing to me. Complete nonsense. Yeah. So he didn't believe in it at all.
So what is it? Is it his wife, or is it that he went to Davos and they injected the thing into his arm and he comes out like an automaton talking about net zero?
What, like they're going to cut off all our giving us money as a nation or something like that? I don't know.
No, there's something, and his dad is crazy for the net zero too. So I don't know.
Look, I don't know, but all I know is that Boris didn't believe a word of what he was saying.
Okay.
But now, you know, he's gone, and I firmly believe that Liz Truss, she has to have a certain line. But I think she's better than Rishi. That's my personal belief. But we'll see, won't we? We'll see.
OK, I would love it if someone just came out and, as Boris said at my lunch and Lois's lunch all those years ago, this climate change is complete blank. That's what I'm looking for in a so-called Conservative leader. Thank you very much, Lois.
Thank you.
You can go to car26.org and find out, and she's having some success with the fracking. The fracking thing is making a difference with the